Seeing objects move on their own is one of the earlier signs of a serious haunting, at least according to most people who have claimed experience ghosts in their home. As you watch this list, be sure to let me know if you have ever had anything move by itself around you. It may be an early sign that you are being haunted. Number 16. This footage was taken at a Buddhist exhibit in China. Everyone is admiring a golden statue of Buddha when suddenly a glowing light surrounds the statue and its eyes begin to blink. The person who uploaded this video, Kim Lim Chin, insists that the statue was shining brightly in real life and not just on camera. I wasn't sure what to make of this, but the event was caught by another person and uploaded onto YouTube. Here's video from the second camera. If anyone can translate what is being said by the crowd, then maybe we can figure out if these two videos are legitimate. Number 15. A YouTuber named Ben McNeil thinks that his house could be haunted, and he apparently has proof to back it up. He shoots a toy basketball into a mini hoop. Somehow the ball rolls back to him on its own from around the corner, and it appears to have come from a space that isn't big enough for somebody to hide behind. The only possible explanation I have is that maybe he recorded himself rolling the ball and then reversed the footage. Backwards editing usually gives the video a certain look, however, that I don't exactly see here. Number 14. Alright, I know that My Little Pony is not exactly the most frightening thing on earth, but pay less attention to the brand of the toy and more attention to what it's doing by itself without being touched. I guess the obvious explanation is that someone is underneath the table using a magnet, and a lot of people say the same thing. However, here's another video showing that there is no magnet on the bottom of the toy, so no one knows for certain. Number 13. A YouTuber named Shahira Negrin and her family have been experiencing some strange activity ever since they moved into a new place. Lately her daughter has been complaining that her toys have been moving all by themselves, and one doll in particular seems to be at the center of it all. She sits and watches the doll as orbs dance all around. It isn't long before something starts to happen. I was thinking that somebody hidden behind the chair was moving it. But then the recliner footrest comes out by itself at the end. As far as I know, somebody would have had to have grabbed a lever on the side or pressed a button, but I don't see anyone. Tell me if you think this family is legitimately being haunted. Number 12. This singing figure is an exaggerated portrayal of the legendary jazz musician Louis Armstrong. These collectible items are meant to be amusing, but this one has something wrong with it. It starts out normally. And then it starts doing this. Multiple voices come out of the figure at once. All of them sound low and menacing, like a possessed person. I think that maybe the batteries are dying, but unless I had one of these myself to recreate this situation, then we won't know for sure. Number 11. A YouTuber named Janelle Crawford has an American Girl doll that she says has been moving around on its own, but apparently only when no one is looking. She decides to demonstrate by leaving the doll in her room and coming back in later. The beginning of this video clearly shows that no one is in the room and no strings are attached to the doll. She closes the door and leaves for just a moment, then she turns around and goes back into her room. She again shows that nobody is in her room, yet somehow the doll is laying on the opposite side of the bed as when this video began. Since I didn't see any quick cuts in the video where she could have quickly gone in and moved the doll, this one is a mystery. Number 10. Ouija bear. The motion of this stuffed teddy bear is perhaps the creepiest and most lively on the list. The video is about 2 minutes long and features 3 men sitting beside each other with a Ouija board in their laps. A webcam or low-quality phone camera is set up in front of the men to record anything interesting that may come of the Ouija session. The men become stressed as they play with the board. One man wipes sweat from his forehead, while another adjusts himself in the chair nervously. While this is happening, no one notices that the white bear on the dresser behind them has been making clear, disturbing movements. It began at around 42 seconds in, when the bear moved its head back. It continues to move and look down at the men with lifelike motion. The man sitting to the far left seems to notice the bear and looks up at it several times, but the bear stops. He tells the other men about it and they put down the board to investigate. They see nothing wrong with the bear, and when they pick it up, this gives us evidence that no strings or puppeteering is occurring. Frustrated and in disbelief, they all sit back down. But the bear immediately starts to make rapid movements that resemble a possession. This time all 3 of the men witness it and run out of the room. Number 9. A YouTuber named Yasakara has been feeling an angry presence in her house and decides to record it for proof. Unlike most of the people who have a paranormal experience, Yasa is very direct and shows little hesitation confronting her poltergeist, who is too busy making a coin flip inside of a bottle to respond. The coin continues to flip inside of the bottle over and over again without an answer. She challenges it to keep flipping the coin, showing absolutely no fear. Some people are saying that this can be done with a magnet, and I agree that it's a definitely possibility. Like one YouTuber said, this needs to be done on a glass table to be verified as 100% real. Then again, this poltergeist might not be so cooperative the next time, so I guess we are lucky to even have this much evidence. Number 8. Crying statues have been reported in churches for centuries, and this video apparently catches one in the middle of such an episode. Church music plays on as tears apparently stream down the statue's cheeks. I'm not sure how this could be faked. I guess a special statue could be made with some sort of hose leading up to the eyes to trick everybody, or maybe they applied water to the face of the statue before the ceremony began, but both of those possibilities would be pretty hard to pull off. The water would dry out after a while, but the face of this statue apparently stays wet and keeps crying. Number 7. This video was supposedly caught on a home residence security system. All of the rooms look normal until this possessed stuffed animal suddenly springs to life. I thought I could see a string at first, but it's clearly a cord that's plugged into T-wall. On the other hand, this doesn't really look like actual CCTV footage at all, so maybe it's just a prank. Number 6. This video was taken in Thailand. A mysterious man can apparently do something crazy and impossible using only a simple playing card and his mind. He moves his hands above and below the spinning card to show that nothing is attached. Obviously this can't be magnets, and other than that, I have absolutely no explanation. Some of the commenters are saying that he is using an ancient force called ki, which you can apparently build up from prolonged meditating. If anybody is a magician who can rationally explain this, then please step forward, because this is nothing short of absolutely incredible to me. If this is real, then imagine what else these powers could be used for besides performing street tricks. Number 5. A restaurant worker named Boggs182 says that he uploaded this video from his place of work. Some trays clatter to the ground when nobody is around. I guess he thought it was weird enough to check the tapes later that night. This is what he and the work crew saw. I suppose that someone could have been off camera throwing trays, but I'm not sure exactly where they would be standing when this happened if that were the case. Number 4. A YouTuber named Paul Hayward claims that this 1970s is severely haunted. He sets up a camera and walks away, making sure to leave a clock next to the doll to show that there were no time lapses whatsoever. The doll's arm is the first to move. followed by its head. By the end of the video, the doll is practically in a completely different position than before. The clock shows that this video was not made using stop motion, and I personally can't see any strings. Number 3. This statue of a god in India apparently notices that it is being filmed and decides to keep an eye on the camera. Somehow this lifeless statue keeps its gaze on the camera until it's staring from out the corner of its eye. This video looks kind of grainy and possibly edited. There's no sound, so we can't tell if anybody else in the crowd noticed it and reacted. Number 2. This video comes to us from a snooker tournament in Japan. I'm not exactly sure how the sport is played, to be completely honest, but whether you're playing pool or snooker, I'm pretty sure that the 8-ball isn't supposed to be able to do this by itself. It's a very slight movement, but clearly the ball moves on its own. This was on live television using professional equipment, so it's a safe bet that the table was level. If anyone has a normal explanation as to why this happened, then please let me know. Before we get to number 1, I'd really appreciate it if you followed me, and feel free to send me a DM if you have questions or suggestions. If you'd like to see more of these videos in the future, then hit that subscribe button because I upload a new video every day. Number 1. A British YouTuber named Scariest only stayed in his home for 3 more days after recording all of these objects in his kitchen moving on their own. I find the 2 liter of Coke to be interesting because the liquid appears to move before the bottle does. Watch what I mean here. Play it in slow motion and you'll see that the contents inside moves shortly before the bottle is launched. I don't think that the contents inside would move like that if it was being pulled by a piece of string. Thanks for checking out this video. Be sure to subscribe because I upload a new video every day. Or if you're still not convinced, here are some of my other videos that I think you'd like. Enjoy.